Hello, and welcome to the Borealis Experience. I'm your host, Aurora, and I'm very happy to be spending some time with you today. I hope you feel good. I hope you feel safe and motivated, encouraged, loved. And if you do not feel all these good feelings, I hope that this episode is going to make you feel understood. It's going to support you through whatever you're going through right now and just make you feel less alone at the same time. First off, I want to thank the people who have donated to the podcast, who have bought me a coffee, so to say. I'm so endlessly grateful for you. And yeah, as you know, this podcast is supposed to stay advertisement free without interruptions. And the only way I can do this is with your support. So by just donating a couple bucks a month, that's huge support already. So thank you so much for the people out there who have supported the podcast this month. This is incredible. I'm so very grateful for you. Today I want to talk about triggers. I learned something really important yesterday, and I have to share with you right away. I just can't help but sharing with you here on my podcast. And this is another reason why I love podcasting so much, because I can talk about whatever I want to. And yeah, it's just very liberating and therapeutic. And at the same time, if I can just help one person out there in this beautiful world, it makes me feel, very good. As if I can contribute something beautiful to this world. So we talk about triggers, and there is internal triggers and there is external triggers. And the way that you can see and notice that your trigger is coming from within would be that the same trigger wouldn't trigger another person. I'm going to give you examples here in a moment. Don't you worry if it sounds too complicated. But when it comes to external trigger, it could be a forest fire, it could be an earthquake. All the people who are being affected by the earthquake, so to say, are triggered with an outside trigger. So they all pretty much behave the same. Yeah, some, freak out, some run away, some are paralyzed and anxious, but they all react to one external trigger. Now let's zoom into this beautiful world and see a family at a family dinner. And there's one person who keeps making jokes, who keeps, distributing rip shots to the people around them. And everybody's laughing and having fun except one person. One person feels triggered. Now, what distinguishes that one person when you compare him or her to the other people who are not feeling triggered? What is different in that person? And what I've learned yesterday is that throughout your life, from when you're being born until now, you accumulate thoughts and belief systems about yourself and the world and the people around you. You maybe are part of a religion. Maybe you have a very specific mindset about the world. Maybe you went through experiences that jaded you in one way or another. And in a nutshell, we call that you have filters. And these filters you are looking through when you look into the outside world. So it can be that the person who is feeling triggered at the family dinner went through pain, suffering, experiences that were not healed yet. And the other person who's making jokes and distributing rip shots, they're just doing their thing. They're just doing their thing that they always do, and they are not aware that this person is being triggered. And maybe they are aware and do it on purpose, but maybe they don't understand why the person would feel triggered by what, by the jokes that are being said, because everybody else is laughing. So it is very difficult for the people around you to understand why you are being triggered by certain things. And this is why it's so incredibly important to know yourself and to know your triggers, so that when the anger is being ignited, or whatever reaction you have when you're feeling triggered. Some people are angry, some people explode, others shut down or run away or become avoidant or stonewall. Whatever it is that comes up for you, you need to know why. What is it that needs your attention? And the beauty in this is that you don't need the other person. Trust me, the people outside of your bubble in this world, they're going to keep triggering you. This is never going to stop. You can start building a castle around your heart and around yourself and try to protect yourself. But then you get terribly lonely. But the triggers are never going to be stopping. And to be wounded again because of that wound not being healed. But what you can do is to, once again, understand why you are feeling triggered. And the funny thing about why is that you still, when you explore the why, are going to point the finger outside. Because that person steps around my boundaries. Because that person is intentionally hurting me. Because that person is just super insensitive and an asshole. Well, guess what? Maybe that's right. But you're never going to change the people around you. It is you who has not healed yet. It is you who is allowing other people to step over your boundaries and to hurt you. Because if you were able to set boundaries, what they can say or do would not even touch you, right? But for some reason, you allow that comment, that reaction, or that behavior to trigger you, and it is on you to heal so that you feel more at peace with yourself and the people around you, and so that you can express yourself with how you feel without blaming the other person. Because that's what we do when we start expressing ourselves about our triggers. We make those triggers valid. We turn them into our identity. I always feel triggered when this and that happens. This is me. I'm not going to change. I'm always going to be that way. Awesome if that's you. But if you want to change how you feel, if you want to feel more at peace and in better connection with other people, you have to start digging deeper. You have to ask questions and wonder, when was the first time or the last time that you felt triggered about that very same topic? And what happened inside of you? What happened outside of you? What happened all around you? And how can you make sure that back then is not now? Back then you might have been a child and you didn't have the tools to defend for yourself or to talk back or to make amends to make the situation easier. But now you're a different person. In fact, you're a different person every second of your life. And you can change your mindset within weeks and become a totally different person for the better. Not that you need to, but if you are at a point where you want to heal certain things in your life, you gotta have the courage to dig deeper and to be responsible for how you feel. Your triggers are within you, your wounds are within you, and you are the only person who can heal it. I think I'm going to leave you with that. It was a huge lesson for me to learn for certain, and I'm still learning it, right? I'm not hovering above you or on some pedestal knowing it all. I'm right in there with you, and I'm learning what I just expressed or shared with you right now in this moment. All right, I'm going to leave you with so much love. Take really good care, and if you have any episode requests or any questions, never hold back. You can message me over my website, auroraegelcoaching.com, or on Facebook. And I'm glad to connect. Until next time, bye-bye.